She rose from flames of childhood's blaze, with dreams ignited in 1,000 ways. Built a world of numbers and cloud, where fortunes grew, there was never doubt. In world of finance, she would prevail. Not just dollars, she dealt with dreams, changing lives, or so it seems. Money flows in untold flashes. Shanon invest.
Anything.
It's pretty mind-blowing.
It's certainly ambitious. The source material, I mean, the stuff we're looking at.
Yeah.
It paints this picture of shanoninvest.com.
That's the name.
That's the project name.
Okay.
And it wants to be like woven into every corner of your digital life. They even use phrases like gateways to the future of finance.
Seriously.
So it's not just about like making online banking a bit easier.
Right. Yeah.
This is like a total shift in how we interact with money online.
So how are they going to pull this off?
Well, from what I've seen, they're taking this two-pronged approach.
Lay it on me.
All right, first up, you got the browser extension.
Oh, like the ones we use now?
Kinda, but way more intense.
Okay.
From what I can gather, it would give you instant access to everything shanoninvest.com.
So no matter where you are on the web?
Exactly.
Okay, that's kind of handy.
But there's more.
More.
They're also talking about like analyzing financial data.
Financial data.
On ANY webpage you visit.
Like how?
Imagine reading a news article about some company.
Okay.
And suddenly you can see their stock performance, their financial history.
Seriously.
Maybe even buy shares right there.
All in the extension.
All within the extension, yeah.
So they're turning the whole internet into a financial dashboard.
That's what it seems like.
Crazy.
I mean, we already have extensions that do some basic stuff.
Like what?
Like tracking stock prices or comparing product prices.
Right, right.
But this is next level.
Yeah.
They want to integrate directly with banking services.
Like your actual bank.
Investment platforms.
Sure.
Even property listings.
That's a lot of power in one place.
It is a huge leap in convenience.
Yeah.
But also potential risk.
Okay, so we got the extension,
right,
which basically gives your regular browser financial superpowers.
Right.
But they're also going all out and developing their own browser.
Yeah, their own custom web browser.
What are they calling it?
Get this, they're calling it the Shanon browser.
The Shanon browser.
That's kind of catchy.
It does have a ring to it.
From the life of it, they're planning to build it on top of either Chromium or Firefox.
Oh, so like the engines behind some of the most popular browsers out there?
Exactly.
Smart move.
Yeah, means they don't have to start from scratch.
And they can tap into all those developers.
Right, huge community.
Okay, but what are they adding on top of it?
Well, on top of that basic framework, they're adding a whole bunch of features.
Okay.
And they're all deeply integrated with shanoninvest.com.
So it's like their own little internet within the internet?
Kinda, but one that's all about your finances.
Wild. They're talking about built-in security features.
Yeah, like VPN, anti-tracking.
You're good stuff.
All designed to protect your data.
And privacy.
Exactly.
They also want to personalize your news and content feeds.
Pulling in financial news and analysis from their own platforms.
Huh. So you'd be getting a browser?
That's fundamentally built for privacy.
And control over your online experience.
Right.
Imagine not having to rely on all those third-party extensions.
For VPNs or ad blocking.
Right.
That's a huge change in how we think about online security.
For sure.
It even makes you wonder about the future of targeted advertising.
Yeah.
Could this be the start of a more privacy-focused internet?
That's a great question.
Or are we just swapping one set of gatekeepers for another?
Right. Good point. It's tough to say.
Okay, but there's more to this browser, right?
Well, yeah.
What about the AI assistant?
Now, that's the crown jewel.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
They're talking about an AI that lives right in your browser.
Always there.
Ready to answer financial questions.
Oh, nice.
Offer investment advice.
Handy.
Maybe even automate stuff like paying bills.
Seriously.
Or rebalancing your portfolio.
That would be pretty sweet.
It's like having a personal financial advisor 24/7.
But one that's constantly watching what you do online.
And learning from your financial data?
That's a little creepy, no?
It is remarkable how personalized they want to make it.
Yeah.
Like say you're browsing a website for a new car.
Okay.
This AI assistant could pull up your financial history, analyze your budget,
right,
factor in things like your credit score and insurance,
plays that,
and offer you personalized financing options.
Wow.
All in real time.
That's kind of scary. It could even compare loan rates from different lenders,
No way!
help you negotiate the best deal.
Seriously.
So yeah, the potential is huge.
But if this AI is watching everything I do
Yeah,
and like crunching all that data,
it is a lot of information.
wouldn't that give Shannon Invest a ton of power?
It's a valid concern.
Yeah.
They would need to be incredibly transparent
About what?
about how they're using your data.
Right.
Users would need granular control over what the AI can see.
And how it gets used.
Otherwise, it could feel less like a helpful assistant,
And more like Big Brother.
keeping tabs on your every penny.
Exactly. So just to recap,
Sure.
we got this extension that injects financial data into any website.
Yep.
And this custom browser that's like a financial command center.
Right?
And they're building this whole thing using C++ and JavaScript.
Yeah, tried and true technologies,
And they're hosting it all on Azure.
which is Microsoft's cloud platform.
So what do you think about that choice of tech?
Well, it seems like they're going all in on proven stuff.
Yeah.
Which tells me they're focused on stability and performance.
Okay.
And Azure is a very powerful platform
For what?
for AI and cloud computing.
So they're serious about scaling this thing up.
For a massive user base, it seems like.
But they're putting a lot of trust in Microsoft, huh?
Yeah, you got to wonder how comfortable you are,
With your financial data being in their hands.
even indirectly.
It's a good point. And you know what else is interesting?
Like that.
They're actually planning to contribute back to the open source community.
Really?
Yeah, by like enhancing the browser engine they choose.
Whether it's Chromium or Firefox.
So they're not just taking, they're giving back too.
That's smart.
Right.
It could really build some goodwill.
Especially with the tech community.
Yeah, which is huge when you're trying to shake things up.
Against the big guys like Google and Apple.
Right.
It also shows they're committed to collaboration,
And transparency,
which helps build trust.
especially for people who are wary about their data.
Okay, so big picture, we got this super personalized,
Financially driven internet experience.
but how are they going to get people to actually use this thing?
That's the million-dollar question.
Their target audience seems to be like everyone.
Yeah, individuals, businesses.
Anyone who wants a more secure and efficient way to browse.
It is a pretty broad target.
Reaching all those different people will be tough.
For sure, a major challenge.
So what's the plan?
Well, they're talking about online ads,
Okay.
content marketing, social media campaigns.
They're going all out.
They even want to partner with other tech companies.
Wow, that's a lot.
They're clearly ready to invest big to get the word out.
But will people buy it?
That's the big question,
I mean, will people really switch to this radically different browser?
especially when it comes to their money.
It makes you wonder, is the world ready for a browser that's basically an extension of your bank account?
It's a big leap.
It does sound super convenient, but...
But are we really okay with that level of integration?
And what happens if something goes wrong?
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, there are some serious questions here.
Definitely. And that's where we got to dig deeper.
Okay, so what's next?
We've seen the features and the tech behind shanoninvest.com.
Yeah,
Now we need to understand the why.
the why.
What's driving this whole project?
His point?
And what are the consequences?
What's good and bad?
Because whether this specific project succeeds or not,
Right.
it raises some fundamental questions about the internet.
And how we use it.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm ready to dive deeper.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
It really makes you think.
Doesn't it? It's like we're watching the internet grow up.
Yeah. And with all that comes a whole new set of responsibilities.
Oh, cool.
I mean, for the companies that are building these platforms,
Right.
but also for us, the users
That's a good point. We should probably talk about some of the downsides.
of this level of integration.
Yeah, like even with all the best security in the world.
There's always the risk of data breaches.
Oh,
Like what happens if someone hacks into shanoninvest.com and gets all that sensitive financial information?
that's a scary thought. And even if we don't think about like the worst case scenarios, there are still questions about how this could affect how we behave with money.
Oh, interesting.
Like if we're constantly seeing investment opportunities and loan offers.
And spending insights.
Right. Could that make us more impulsive?
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
There's this fine line
Between what?
between providing helpful guidance
Right.
and kind of nudging people to do things that might not be in their best interest.
I see what you mean. Like imagine you're looking at an online store
Uh-huh.
and the AI assistant pops up and says, you can totally afford this.
Treat yourself,
It would be so easy to overspend.
especially if you're feel a little vulnerable
Right.
or emotional.
It's almost like they're using our psychology against us.
Yeah, those personalized insights could trigger bad spending habits.
That's a good point. What about the AI's advice, though?
What about it?
Like, how do we know it's actually objective?
Good question.
Could Shannon Invest be steering the AI?
To push their own products.
Right. That would be messed up.
It's a big issue. The whole system relies on trust.
Yeah.
Users need to feel like the AI is working for them.
Not just trying to sell them stuff.
Exactly. They would have to be really clear about how the AI works,
Like how it's trained,
what data it uses.
how it makes its recommendations.
All of that would have to be transparent.
Okay, what about the news and content they're going to feed us?
Through the Shanon browser,
Yeah, they're saying it'll be personalized.
based on your interests.
And financial goals.
But wouldn't that just create an echo chamber?
Oh, right.
If you're only seeing information that agrees with you?
That could lead to bad decisions.
Yeah, you might miss important perspectives.
And make mistakes.
It's important to remember.
What?
One of the best things about the internet is the diversity of information.
I guess so.
If we filter everything through one platform,
You lose that.
exactly. So it's really important to stay skeptical.
Okay.
Do your own research
Don't just believe everything you see
and talk to independent financial advisors.
before making any big choices.
Exactly.
So it seems like there's this real tension
Between what?
between the convenience they're offering
Yeah.
and all the risks.
To our privacy,
Our finances.
even our ability to think critically.
It's a lot to consider
It is a trade-off.
that we need to be aware of.
There's no free lunch, especially online,
Right, we're giving up data
and attention.
in exchange for all these personalized services.
And it's up to us to decide if that's a good deal.
Okay, let's talk tech for a second.
Sure.
They're going to build this whole thing on existing browser engines.
Chromium or Firefox.
But they also said they'll contribute back to open source.
Interesting strategy.
Right.
On one hand, they can use the work of tons of developers.
Saves them time and money.
Exactly. But on the other hand, they have to play by the rules.
Of the open source community.
They can't just do whatever they want
They got to collaborate.
and build consensus.
It's like they want it both ways
Kind of. They want to be innovative,
and build their own special features.
but they also want the credibility of open source.
It'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The open source community might not like this financial integration
Yeah, maybe they'll say it violates their principles.
of openness and neutrality.
It's like a clash of philosophies.
The old internet versus the new.
The old guard wants everything free and open,
And the new wave wants everything personalized and controlled.
and a lot of it is controlled by just a few companies.
That's right.
This whole thing feels like a battle for the soul of the internet.
In a way, it is.
Yeah.
And the winner will have a huge impact on our lives,
In the years to come.
for sure.
So where do we go from here?
Well, we've looked at the features
The good and the bad.
and even the philosophy behind it all.
What's next?
I think we need to zoom out a little
Okay.
and look beyond the tech itself,
To what?
the bigger social and economic forces at play.
Like what?
Like, how will this change our relationship with money,
Oh, interesting.
to each other,
Okay.
with the institutions that govern our lives?
Those are some deep questions.
They are. We're entering a new era,
And we're still figuring out the rules.
but it's going to be a wild ride.
I'm ready. Yeah, it does feel like we're on the edge of something totally new.
But that classic pattern, you know?
What's that?
Technology always moves faster than we can understand it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And then it's up to us to catch up.
And figure out what it all means.
Ask the tough questions.
And try to shape where it's all going.
Insects.
So let's try to look ahead a bit.
Okay.
Let's say Shannon Invest actually pulls this off.
They build this whole financially integrated internet.
What would that even look like?
Well, I mean, practically speaking,
Yeah.
it could make things so much easier.
Easier.
Managing your money could become as simple as browsing the web.
Really?
Think about it. Paying bills, tracking investments, comparing loans,
Even doing your taxes.
all in one place.
That does sound pretty utopian.
It would be a huge benefit.
For who?
Everyone, really. Individuals, businesses.
Okay, but what about the downsides?
What do you mean?
Like, could this lead to more inequality?
Oh, I see what you mean.
If all our financial stuff is controlled by one platform,
It would give that platform a lot of power.
what if they, like, jack up their fees?
Or restrict access to certain services
Or even, like, manipulate what information we see?
based on our finances.
That would be bad.
It could definitely impact people's opportunities.
It's like we're just switching from banks to tech companies.
Yeah, trading one gatekeeper for another.
But the tech companies have different priorities.
That's true. Their incentives are different.
So how do we regulate all this?
That's a big question.
Do we need new laws?
Maybe new regulatory bodies.
To keep things
We
fair
need to figure this out before it's too late
before these technologies are everywhere.
and impossible to change.
And what about our behavior?
What do you mean?
Like, if we're always seeing financial stuff online, Could it change how we think about money?
It's possible. I mean, we know that our surroundings influence us.
Right.
And the digital world is part of our surroundings now.
So if we're constantly being told to spend more,
or invest in risky things,
it could mess with our decision-making.
We need to be aware of these things.
And learn how to protect ourselves.
From manipulation.
Both online and offline.
It's all connected.
So it sounds like we need better digital literacy skills.
For sure.
We need to be able to evaluate information.
Assess risks.
Make good financial decisions.
Even when we're being bombarded with ads and recommendations.
It's a lot to ask of people.
It is, but it's crucial.
And this isn't just about personal responsibility, right?
No, it's bigger than that.
We need to have conversations as a society.
About the values we want to guide technology.
Do we want a future where algorithms control our money?
Or do we want privacy and human oversight?
Those are big choices.
And we need to make them together.
So it's not just about building fancy browsers or AI.
It's about building a better future.
One where technology helps us.
Without taking away our values or freedom.
Well said. I think that's the main takeaway from this deep dive.
Into the world of Shanon Invest.
It's a powerful reminder that technology isn't neutral.
It reflects the values of its creators.
And it can change the world in big ways. This is like a call to action.
It is.
We all need to shape the future of technology.
We can't just be passive observers.
We have to engage,
question things,
demand better from companies.
And from the people who make the rules.
It's about taking control of our digital lives.
And making sure technology serves us.
Not the other way around. I think we've covered a lot today.
We've gone from browser features
to the big picture of finance and technology.
And the impact on society.
And honestly, I feel like we've only scratched the surface.
That's how it always is with technology.
There's always more to learn.
More to explore.
It's constantly evolving.
Throwing new challenges at us.
But also new possibilities.
So it's important to stay informed.
Stay engaged.
Keep asking the right questions.
So to all our listeners out there,
keep exploring this stuff.
Keep questioning.
Keep diving deep.
Because the future of the internet,
and maybe even the future of finance,
is being shaped right now.
And your voice matters.